So when I was on the airplane trying to decide what I was going to tell you people, I instantly figured out what I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to say what's been analyzed by certain politicians. I'm not going to repeat what's been repeated to the drones of this land so many times they believe it and accept it as truth. I'm not going to tell you what's politically or religiously popular. And I'm certainly not going to repeat to you anything I've heard on Fox News. The first thing I decided to tell you people here at the Liberty Forum and the Free State Project and in New Hampshire is thank you, New Hampshire, for being the leading state in our country for bringing back true patriotism to our land. Thank you. Do you realize Candy and I could not be here had it not been for your prior efforts? Candy and I are new to the Reformation scene, if you will, if you call it. I like what Ian told me last night. He said, well, I don't think we're into Reformation. We are into elimination. And I like that. Not just reforming government, but let's eliminate government. And you know, government's good. We need government in our lives. There's a government structure in my home. But we don't need abusive government. And we don't need government telling you or you how to raise your kids, what schools you need to go to, what substances you can or cannot put in your body. It's gone crazy. You know, I can't deliver anything to you except what I know through the lenses of my experiences. I grew up being taught that Russia, they would arrest you for anything. I grew up being taught that if you said the wrong thing, you would go to jail. I grew up hearing about the atrocities in the Russian prison system. Hello? We're here. I also decided to tell you what I've heard in the recovering flooded streets of New Orleans. I decided to come here to New Hampshire and report what I've heard on the balconies in New York. I want to tell you what Candy and I have heard in the ghettos of Deep East Texas. I want to tell you what her and I have heard in the black churches in the South. I want to tell you what I've heard from the mothers cooking dinner in their kitchens in middle-class America. And there is one common denominator that I hear from every voice in America, especially the people who are suffering at the hands of this unjust drug war. So I'm going to tell you what they've said, and I'm going to tell you what the prisoners and their mamas are saying. And they're saying, lawyers, please go back home, go into the courtrooms, fight and get our country back. It's the lawyers and the judges that have turned this thing into a huge mess. And I'm not a lawyer hater, and I'm not a judge hater. But there's a system that says we must act and behave in our courts according to tradition and what's easiest. If an attorney tries to file some different motion, the judge will shoot it down and then tell him to not behave like that in his court any longer. We don't have time for that. So what it's set up is a system of carting people off to jail through plea bargains. If we emptied our federal prisons today of non-violent drug offenders, 55% would go out today. 55%! It costs $17 million a day to house our drug offenders. Per day. That's alarming. But what is even more alarming is somebody's getting paid $17 million a day. Did you know our prison system is the fastest growing corporation in America? Did you know we built 21 prisons in the state of California last year and only one university? At the hands of us. We're paying that tab. At least the black people knew they were slaves. So Candy and I being new to reform, we're going to do a question and answers at the end. Somebody please stop me at 2 o'clock. Because I said I could go over 15 minutes for questions and answers. So Candy and I, when this was released, we had not heard of drug reformation. So we began to travel to all of these different conferences and things of that nature. And one thing that really disappointed us and discouraged us was the fighting among the Reformation, different Reformation groups, and the professional jealousy that seems to come with that. This is 2008. We need to use 2008 measures to stop this nonsense. There have been organizations whom we support. We support every organization. We donate to every organization. But there are some organizations that have been at this for 30 years, and we still have 830,000 people, a record in 2006, going to jail for pot. So what we're doing is reformationist. What we're doing is eliminationist. Thank God you've done it, because there might have been 1,800,000 in 2006. So the efforts are great, but we need to switch gears. That's why we love New Hampshire. I've never met so many people with the same ideas at one conference, and we've been to a lot, than here. There seems to be less craziness. The world does not want to see a long, crazy-haired pot smoker ripping a bomb going, "F the police!" Okay, that's got to stop. There's a reason we're not being listened to. It's because we do seem crazy at times. But you know what? The yous and the yous and the me's and the yous are popping up all across the U.S. I call us patriots. We're certainly not loyalists. This is not a history class, but we're patriots. If there's ever a time to get a grip on this and to really make a change, considering the political climate of our country and the wreck we've made it, it's now. We couldn't have done this